Alrighty then. Hello, hello, hello. Make sure everything is working fine here. Test, test. Yeah, very good. It is midday, 12:05 Sydney time. What's the weather like today in Sydney? 22, a nice overcast 22 degrees. We had hail and storms last night, so that was fun. But we're here now. And yeah, I don't really want to go on for too long. Yeah, story of every stream always ends up going over an hour. But well, I put up a post the other week. I was tagged in it on Facebook, and it was basically a lady saying like men over 30 are red flags, especially if they're single with no kids or whatever. And it's like, I think she was trolling in a way, but I think the responses were quite wild. And when you flip it on the other side, there was a discussion to be had there as well. So we'll look at those two aspects. But before that, 10 p.m. Brody, shout out to Brody, shout out to OPTC as well in the chat. Richmond, VA, that's Virginia? No, VA. What else is VA? I don't know, my American state abbreviations. Obviously, NY is one for New York, WA is Washington, obviously CL is California, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's good, man. It's all good. Yeah, that was, yep, Virginia on the money on that one. And both 33. I have a youthful complexion. People tell me all the time, like, how old are you? And tell them I'm 33, and it's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I got to show them my age and all that sort of stuff. I don't have a Discord server, not yet, anyways. Good day to Malik Campbell. Thank you for tuning in. Not yet. I don't know if I'm built for that stuff. I have what's called imposter syndrome, which people have told me is feeling that you're inadequate or not good enough, and doubting yourself. So maybe that's where I'm at the moment. I feel like I'm not where I probably need to be or should be when it comes to having somewhere people can come together and chit chat and do all these other bits and pieces. So not yet, but you never know. Something could happen in the works later on down the track. But before we get into the whole over 30 thing with the red flags, because we'll go through your comments that was posted on the YouTube community page, and also the actual post itself, and see what's being said. There's something interesting that come up overnight. I just noticed it here. We'll just look into this quickly here. Wall Street Journal came out with a report about Facebook and how bad it is, as if you needed research into that. And who would have thought that Facebook knows Instagram is toxic for many teen girls, company documents show, because as we know, a lot of Instagram these days with your influencers and your Instagram models and all these sort of things, it's not very it's not pretty. It's not a very healthy thing. But for the guys as well, I think the ladies look for the looks and the guys look for the things, because blokes are more interested in material things, the right shoes, the right car, the right watch, the right hairstyle, all those sorts of things. And it's wild. I mean, because you really needed a report to find that out for you. I think it's like one of the most obvious things ever. I mean, social media can be great, but more often than not is pretty detrimental. And if you look at just the rough stats here, 82% of teens have felt at least one emotional issue in the past month. 1 in 5 has thought about self-deletion or self-injury. I mean, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad if you think about the amount of people that are using it, especially teenagers. And growing up with social media, I would hate to be a teenager in this day and age. I mean, I'm thankful I grew up in the 2000s as a teenager. Basically from 2000 till about 2006, when I turned 18, hardly any social media. I didn't even get Facebook until 2008, like 2 years after it became a thing. But these days, everything is social media. Everything is image driven. Everything is, how can I outdo the next person? How can I outdo the next person? How can I be better than my friend? How can I be better than that person over there? And look at this. Harm on Instagram falls into 3 major categories: social comparison, social pressure, and negative interactions with other people. Teens feel that they have to cope alone, but they want help. It's pretty bad, man. It is pretty bad. So this is a big thing. Might put it in the community page as well. Just some interesting viewing here. Yeah, the mental health on this is pretty bad when you think about it, and even this day and age as well. When you see who can outdo the next person when it comes to influencers and all these other things, like who is better than, who is the person you should be following for all your for all your, I don't know, or for lack of a better term, what makes you feel good. And actually, funny enough, the research showed that memes actually make people feel good on Instagram. That's why I use Instagram. I use it for the memes because there's so much great comedy and humor on there. But it's been overtaken by influencers and business people and all these other things. But yeah, something to look into here. It's pretty up there. This was from the Wall Street Journal, so I'll check that out. But anyways, let's get right into this right now. Straight in. Aspiration, that's probably the right term. Aspiration, I want to be like this person. How can I be like this person? And it's funny though, even my cousins, I think they're 12 or 13 years old now. Even a couple of years ago, when say what do you want to be when you grow up? Like in primary school, one of them said, I want to be a YouTuber. It's like that's the culture that we live in. That's the breed of children we have now in our society. It's a little bit sad, but hey man, like I'm 33 years old, trying my luck now, just talking, throwing my opinion out there. And when something's out in the public sphere, people will talk about it, people criticize, scrutinize, agree, disagree, make fun of, and that's part of being in public. As soon as you have some information out there, people will have their take on it. People can like it, people can dislike it, and all these sort of things. And that's what it's all about, discussions. But anyways, let's get into this now. I don't want to be on it for too long. I want to go and exercise. Gyms are finally opening in 2 weeks' time, I think now, once we're out from lockdown, from all this corona nonsense, and I can't wait to get back into the gym. So, this was the post. Shout out to the Arc W Tech. I can't pronounce it properly, man. I thought I'm good at pronouncing words, but damn, I can't. But shout out to you. Shout out to everyone watching live and those who will be watching later on, if they so choose to. Now, this was the original post I put up there. 136 comments. Thank you to all you who contributed. But the thing was, from this lady here, Sunshine Pulan, and I'm going to look at the original post in a second now as well. But she says, a single man over 30 is a big red flag, especially with no kids. Well, this was the original post. This was the original post here by her. But this one prior, these pop-ups, bloody hell. So one person said, a single woman over 30 is a big red flag. Now, in a way, probably you could say yes. Yes. I am Chad, 36 male, Sydney. Curious to know my red flags. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what's a red flag in a man who's just minding his own business, just trying to build something for himself. I would have thought that's what women liked more often than not. But hey, man, apparently men over 30 are red flags. Now, this could be an epic troll. She could have just flipped the script, as she says here. I don't give an F how old, taken or single, lonely, or how many kids you got because of my own reasons, but I saw this ruffle some feathers when it's worded the other way around. Yes, because there is a notion to that. There are reasons why there are red flags. Now, I'm no dating expert. I'm no red flag expert. I'm just going by what I observe to be truth as far as I perceive it based on information given to me, just like all you guys. I might be talking absolute crap. You guys may have a better understanding as to what it is, and I'm all for it. If we all learn something, everyone's happy. You know what I mean? Every day you learn something new. You know what they say? Or something to that effect. But yeah, it says, a single woman over 30 is a big red flag. Now, of course, you got naturally people commenting and all sorts of other nonsense and things like that. One person says here, the likes and comments were all crazy for men. On women, it's all low. Seems like a little bit biased. Yeah, so that's basically the original thing. And then she flipped the script and then went on this here. And, well, you can... the architect. Okay, my bad. Thanks, man. The architect. That's a cool word. It's a cool name, actually. The architect. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. All right, cool. So, yeah, a single man over 30 is a big red flag, especially with no kids. Some of the comments. Why? Because he's not near a baby trapper like you. You're a red flag. Are you only dating married men with kids? That's a red flag. 'Cause if you think about it, it probably could be that way. But it could be that way. This comment here sort of like speaks volumes. It says, isn't it like the primate to have kids for a guy? Yeah, like they say, like men shouldn't be considering marriage until, 28 or something? Or serious relationships after 25, marriage after 30? I might be getting that wrong. I'm not too sure. But he says, supposedly that by then you finished any schooling, which is true. A couple of years into a career in the least, so you can build something. You can, have something in the bank, understand debt, and try and be out of it as best as you can. hopefully have a few investments started up. He says, I was married at 21, 2 kids and divorced at 29. The only thing I regret was just not being a father ahead when I started it all. This is a very shallow comment. Another person on this says, dude, I'm with you on this one here. Whoever is this person is just bitter to the core. Now, I don't know if this is, like I said, she could be trolling, she could be serious, she could be legit, but look, this stuff happens every day. We've seen a lot of debates. When you see live conversations, I know we've always seen it on Fresh and Fit. Abba and Preach have discussed it as well. Kevin Samuels a lot of the time will discuss this with ladies. I've seen it on Donovan Sharp when he's going through things, and those other discussions where you've got I forget what it was called. It's like you've got 3 men on one side and 3 ladies on the other side and just having a conversation backwards and forwards. I forget what it's called, but there is something like that out there. But you just see it's always like, well, we men want blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, yeah, but what about us? And it's like, well, yeah, there's always an us versus them thing, you know. So that was her post. And this is what you guys were saying. One person says, so we're supposed to be divorced single fathers. Is that better? Married and miserable with kids sounds good to me. That's the one thing I would hate, to be married to someone that I really do not want to be with out of social pressure or cultural pressure or whatever the hell it needs to be. I'd rather be a single man as I am over 30 than be, especially with no kids. Like it's like someone said, what are you hunting for? Are you only looking at men who are married? Is that what your target demographic is of men that you want to be with? But I don't know, man. Like, you blokes tell me, like, for us men especially, like for what it is, we would like a woman who's younger than us and has probably not, this day and age, it's hard to find a virgin. I mean, I actually had the video the other day posted about the virginity rates of men 18 to 30 years old who are sexless and single and haven't had anything to do with women, and it was absolutely wild, man. Like, let me bring this up for you guys. I'll bring it up so you guys can see it, because it was insane, the stat, and they might be onto something here. Where did it go? Come back. Here we go. So it was the virginity line to, where was it? It was here somewhere. Where did it go? There it is. Bang. Right here. I want that one. Man, live streams can be frustrating as hell. Here we go. So that's it there. So there you go. Under 30 reported 0 female sex partners since they turned 18. Now, that in itself could be a red flag by the time you turn 18. That could be a red flag in itself, because you've got to ask yourself, why is this guy not active? Why are they not doing anything? Why are they not interacting with females? But I don't think it's that simple. I mean, in this day and age, we've seen a lot of ladies are more selective with their partners. It also seems that they probably have more freedom out there, because interesting to know, around about this time here, about 2007, 2008, the iPhone was first released, I believe. I think that's when it came out, to 07 or 08. The first iPhone came out around there. And since then, you can just see, bang, it's just skyrocketed right up there. Now, on the flip side, there's a little article there, a post there, you see, yeah, iPhone release, bang. So someone's trying to correlate the iPhone releasing in 2008 to the increase in virginity, which it very well may be. But also since then, we've also seen Me Too and allegations against men. And even back then, like around that time, that was the whole Duke Lacrosse fiasco as well. That's when that happened, and man, that's a sad story in itself. There's a great 30 for 30 ESPN doco on that. I think it's called Fantastic Lies. I watched it the other week. Fascinating stuff. I am Chad. Steve Jobs created the Big Bang for inceldom. That's it, man. Shout out Jay Dowie. What's going on? Spitballing with the fellas and the lads and the ladies. Sorry, if there are ladies here, welcome. Give me your thoughts. Red flags, yes, no, men, women. Look, we both have them. I'm not saying only women have red flags. Men have red flags too. This could be one of them. This could be one of those red flags. The increase in virginity, but you got to ask yourself, why are they not being active? Are they scared of being with ladies? Do they have no confidence? Are these the guys that would normally be in this zigzag trend here that are not actually getting it on? Because back here, it's like, there's Yep, there's nothing, and then there's something. Then there's nothing. Then nothing and something, and then bang, gets under, and then like around there, that was cracking. Maybe that was when social media first kicked on, and people were just hooking up left, right, and center, and then they realized, hang on a second, I can find people outside my area. I can find people who are not near me, and we've heard this plenty of times on other so to say RP content creators and people like that. And I'm not one of them. I don't profess to be. I try and live with an RP lens, but I don't profess to be a content creator. I like talking about these things and discussing these things, but I am by all means no way some sort of go-to guy regarding this sort of stuff. But it is very interesting to me. It says, I think that's because the internet, people start interacting with one another, social skills getting worse. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. Like I DJ, right? I work in nightclubs and bars and boats and all these other places like that. And what happens every time someone goes on, bang, the phone goes out, take a photo inside the club or on the boat or whatever, post it to your social media. Make sure you're seen there, because it's better to be seen there than to actually be doing something there. You ever realize that? It's like, oh, where were you? Oh, I was out at a club last night. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't see anything online. We've become a society where we have to showcase what we're doing to one another. Like, you won't, like a pic or it didn't happen. You know that whole meme? Yeah, pic or it didn't happen. You can do things without posting it and blasting it all over social media. That's what trips me up. But that could go back to the whole social media use between men and women. Men and women would be different. Men would like to take photos and videos of themselves with bottle service and out on the boat or cruising along and things like that. Ladies love to get their photos taken and on some beach, in a club, drinks in hand, cocktails, whatever. Could be one of those things. Jay Doy, I think we've been conditioned to be antisocial. That's another thing too, man. That is a very, very good aspect, and that's the whole social media thing as well. And that's where it could be, why are men over 30, single, and why if a woman's over 30 and single, like what's going on there? Like the woman over 30 and single, she might be, looking to settle down. She might be in that settle down phase because she's been partying nonstop, and we've had that, the epiphany phase or the danger zone that's been known to be called. And like a lot of like you people said it in the community comments, like someone says, by all means, I see me as a red flag. 31 with no kids, focusing on my grind, not worrying about any 304s. Coach Greg Adams slinger right there. Life is good. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Social media used as a status symbol. 100%. 100% it is. And that goes back to the whole start when I said the Instagram and the Facebook and the unhappiness. Because if you're looking at someone else's life and seeing how great they are, how shit does that make you feel? That makes you feel like absolute shit, man. And it's a competition. And I see it more so with people. Look, 33, I probably caught social media from the age of 20, 21, right? These days you've got 15, 16-year-olds on social media keeping up with other bits and pieces, and that's not a healthy thing, because then you're growing up and you're conditioned to always say, okay, well, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to be. This is what I need to aspire to. I need to do this and less of this. And it messes with your mind, and you can't grow up as a teenager. You can't grow up as a teenager anymore because you have something that you always need to aspire to. And this is what annoys me with people when they do their whole social media thing. Like, oh, you meet someone out in public and all of a sudden you're Facebook friends, or you follow each other on Instagram, like they're friends of your friends, or you've spoken to them once or twice. And it's like, oh, what's your Instagram? Like, you don't need to follow me. I don't need to follow you. I'm not your friend. I'm an acquaintance. I've spoken to you once or twice before. Cool, no dramas. I can have a conversation. That's not a problem. But then to say, well, you should add me on Facebook, or you should follow me on Instagram, or what's your Snapchat, or, tweet me, or whatever, send me an email, or whatever nonsense. Like, I don't need to do these things. But this is the whole conditioning of, I meet someone, I need to follow them and do exactly, and they need to see exactly what I'm doing. Sorry, here's my train of thought here. Too many things up in this noggin here. Sometimes they make no sense. But that's what it sort of comes down to. And to bring it back to the whole over 30 situation, Like these days, we have your MGTOWs, you have incels as well. And I did a video the other day breaking down Dr. Warren Farrell, who's got a book called The Boy Crisis, on why men are sort of like not cared for these days, why they're just left aside. No one really cares about men, and why we sort of like need to go back to the men and build them up again, because without men, society, falls apart. Let's be real here. If the tradies aren't out there working, if the construction isn't going on, if the engineers aren't doing what they do, and by all means, women can be engineers and they can do all these sort of things, but they choose not to because it's not what they want to do. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Shout out to real name JM. Facts. I don't know. I don't know about facts, man. I'm just like talking. This is how I understand the world to be. Like I understand it, and I'm like, cool. I know where I'm at in the world. I know where I sit, and I know what I need to do to get by now. If I want to have a girlfriend, I know what I need to bring. I know what she needs to bring for me, and what I need to bring for her, for example. You know what I mean? Like, there is an understanding there. It's not to say it's my way or the highway. It's like, come on, man. Love the taste of Red Bull. So it's that whole chunk of it there. This guy, he says, it's funny because by making this declaration, she's the red flag. Yeah, like, okay, I'll ask you this question honestly to all those watching right now. You're a man, 30 years old, single, you've had a few girlfriends, but you've been working non-stop, you've got your own apartment, or you live with your friend or whatever, but you're just about your business. You're going around, you're doing what you need to do to be successful in life, to get that climb up. On the flip side, you're a female, 30 years old, had some relationships, you work, but then you go clubbing, cafes, hanging out with your girlfriends, all these sorts of things, and you're just living like week to week in a way. What would be more of a red flag to you? The guy who's working non-stop, trying to better himself, trying to actually make a life, later on so he can retire, at the age of 50 or whatever, or do whatever he needs to, or build himself up to find himself a nice woman who can be mother, wife, a companion, and all those sorts of good things that we're all told to believe when we're kids. Or the lady who's clubbing non-stop, 30 years old, and saying like, where's all the good men? Where are all the good men at? Don't get me wrong, there are guys that do this stuff as well non-stop. I mean, in my line of work, in the hobby side, DJing and things like that, you see men non-stop. They're just trying to get with the ladies. That's all good and well, man. You do what you got to do. And ladies want to get with the men. But realistically, it is probably a worse off thing for the women, because they got to remember, like, the biological clock is there. If they want to be married, they need to find themselves a man, and then a year or two later to have kids and all that sorts of things. Whereas men, we can be 35, 40 years old and still, crack on. Yes, there are some exceptions to the rule. Ladies can get pregnant later on in life, but the older they are, the worse, not worse, rather, wrong term, the more worrying the outcome may be. And that's ultimately what you want. You don't want to be with a lady who's over 35. By the time you decide to have kids, you're 40, and you're going to have risks and complications of future children. Like, that would be, like, detrimental. That would panic me massively, man. That would panic me massively. I wouldn't want to be in that situation. Wouldn't want to be in that situation there. But again, yeah, the guy who's working week to week, out, lives by himself or with his friend, goes about his business, goes to watch his favorite sports team, do whatever, hangs out with his friends, kicks back, relax, does what he needs to do, and goes about his business. Or the lady who's going out clubbing non-stop every weekend with her girlfriends, living week to week, looking at her Instagram, it's always filtered, and there's drinks everywhere and all these sorts of things. Like, I see it every weekend, and it's a turn-off for me personally. It is an absolute turn-off when I see women get absolutely wrecked when they're out clubbing or whatever, and it's all on their social media, and they're all dirty dancing with their girlfriends. And I'm not saying you don't have to do that. By all means, do that. Don't take this as me saying, like, you should not do this. You should do whatever the hell you want. Right hand up, I full support you to do whatever the hell you want to do, but understand actions have consequences. One move to the left will mean two moves to the right for someone else. Like, you move one way and they move further away. You know what I mean? Or you move one way, they move closer to you. Life is really a game, man. It is like a game of chess. So you got to plan your stuff carefully. And I know a lot of people will say, yeah, but what about, men who are, going around sleeping with women non-stop and all these sorts of things? Well, yeah, they may be unattractive to ladies as well, but pre-selection is a thing. when a woman has been with a lot of guys, guys will probably say like, is she someone I want to be with? Or she's been with a lot of guys, I must be in with a chance as well. Like for a hit and quit, for example. Whereas with ladies, she'll be like, okay, so he's been with a lot of women. What is it about him that's so attractive? Like, what is it about him that draws women into him? And he might again say yes or no. They could do yes or no. It is a choice. It is a choice. Like pre-selection, like again, it's going to be very hard to find someone who's a virgin by the age of 30 this day and age. For men, as we've seen here, increased. Hopefully, they would have had some punani by the time they've hit 31, after the age of 30. But again, is this them? Women aren't worth it. There's a headache involved with them, or maybe I'm just not cracked up. I don't want to be this ultra wealthy, high value. I just want to be me, and I just want to do what I want to do and kick back and relax. And this would be all good and well if the virginity rate wasn't skyrocketing. You know what I mean? If it was just chill and laid back, and they're still sleeping with women here and there, casual, whatever you want to do, man. You do you, man. You do whatever you want to do. But that is a bit of an interesting comparison there. There's a comment here. Jay Doy, they have the freedom to do whatever they want, and you have the freedom to avoid it. Exactly right, 100%. Why are you telling women they can't do this? I can drink. I never said you can't drink. Drink, get absolutely totaled, pass out. I don't care. But don't expect the bloke to say, you know what, I want to wife her. You know what, I want to be with her. I want her to be my girlfriend. If that's what he wants, man, he must be as messed up as you. Messed up as you. Too much of a thing isn't good. People should have balance to make things good enough. Exactly. The more you do things, the more you get used to it, and you're always chasing that next high. You know what I mean? I don't want to use drinking well, it isn't a drug in a way, but I've never taken illicit drugs or party drugs or anything like that. I've only ever had alcohol, so I don't know what it's like, but a lot of people who have said, once you've had that first hit, you'll never have the same high after, and you're always chasing it, which is why they say you're always chasing the dragon. That's when you become an addict. I need more, I need more, I need more. And it's like social media as well. Once you've got the thrill of the clicks and the likes and all those bits and pieces, the comments and the love hearts and the DMs, and that's when you're like, oh, cool, okay, I can get used to this. It's a drug, man. It plays on in your mind. It's again and again and again, and it keeps going backwards and forwards. Not a good thing as well, man. Too much of a good thing does end up being pretty much terrible, I would say. To read a few more comments. Anyone who says there's something rather normal is a red flag is the red flag. Yeah, like Yum Stacy. Shout out to Yum Stacy. 18,000 subs. The guy was on 15 when I first discovered him. The guy's going from strength to strength. Give him a subscription. Give him a like. Watch his content, man. He makes good stuff, man. Representing Miami, FL. Been to Miami a couple of times, actually. Nice place, Miami. Very nice. Very nice place. So it says, if it's a red flag, does that mean women will finally leave me alone so I can focus on myself? Hey, man, if that's the red flag, that's the red flag. You know what? Speaking of red flags, let's have a look at some red flag question marks, red flags in men and women. What's this one from? This is from lifehack.org. Now, this is apparently red flags women need to look out for in men. The red flags, signs that indicate that something is amiss. These signs that tell you you would easily see in your friend's new love interest, but obviously oblivious to your own. Below is a short video about red flags. Don't worry about the video. We're watching me right now, listening to my Australian accent. Okay, this one first here moves too fast. Lads, I know you've probably been here before. You've probably been in this position, or you know someone who's been in this position, but like really hammering a chick's DMs like straight off the bat is an instant turn off to her. Unless she's reciprocating, unless she's going backwards and forwards with you, different story. But if you're constantly like dropping them DMs like, hey, and then 3 hours later, hi, and then 4 hours later, sup, and then 10 hours later, bitch. Like, don't do that. That is cringy as F. And not to use these terms, but it's the only way I can sort of like explain it. That's like nice guy beta moves. Like, don't do that shit. That pains me because ladies will show me, look at this guy, just thirsty as F, just trying non-stop to get into those DMs, man. Trying so hard to get a response, and she's not responding at all. But One says here, during the first 3 weeks, you'll find aspects. After 2, keep your eyes open, blah, blah, blah. If someone is moving too fast, be careful. Indication they're either desperate or they want to catch you before you discover some deep, dark secret. It could be a combination of both. I don't know about the secrets aspect, probably, but yeah, the desperate thing, 100%. And one-itis is real. One-itis is definitely a real thing, man. I remember when I first read about it in Rollo's Rational Mail, like the whole one-itis thing, there is no one. There are good ones and bad ones, but no the one. That's when you realize, like, okay, I need to approach and look at every relationship in general, not just ladies or men if you're a female. You have to look at it and say, okay, is this going to really have me in a miss, or am I going to say to myself, I'm taking hook, line, and sinker? Because we've seen blokes when they break up with ladies and they're depressed for months or weeks on end, and it is definitely a case of, why did she leave me? What did I do? I want you back, blah, blah, blah. Because that's that mindset that they have. Like, oh, I'm 30 years old. I've only ever been with one chick for the last 5 years. She got tired of me. I wasn't moving fast enough for her. She probably expected more. Someone, pardon the pun, I am Chad, but like some Chad got into her DMs and gave her a better proposition, and she took it, and months beforehand started flirting with him, and then broke up with the guy. Says, I can change, it's too late, and she left, and next week she's already in Chad's bed, and he's sitting there so mopey and crying in his bed, and that shit happens, man. That shit is real. That shit is definitely real, man. I know it's happened to a lot of people, even my friends. Not to that same level, but damn near close enough. Appreciate it like that. My bad, Chad. Definitely close enough. The pedestal thing as well. Yeah, this is like, don't put on a pedestal. If you treat her like a celebrity, she will treat you like a fan. By the same token, me personally, maybe anyways, when ladies like constantly want to show their wants and like for me, I appreciate that. But sometimes even I just say, like, just take a step back. Like, I get it, but same thing. If it's clingy for men to do it to women, it's the same thing when women do it to men as well. Like, it's a sense of like, I'm so keen, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm keen too, but like, just take it back a couple of steps. In this particular example here, she says, whatever's new love interest, in his eyes says she was perfect. While it may seem flattering, next best thinks a sliced bread could be actually a bit creepy and off-putting. It's like this. Look, within 3 months he proposed. 3 months proposed, and she said yes. It wasn't long before he learned she was a bad cook and a worse housekeeper. Like, this is what men want, and this is what you probably. This would probably be a red flag for ladies over 30 if they're living with their friends, they eat takeaway, or they don't cook as often, and they're just not home. So it's like maintain, like you can learn a lot about someone just by looking at not so much how they live, like where they live. Just, I'll come over to my house and you see their apartment and it's nice and neat and everything's in place, or it is an absolute mess and you're sitting there scratching your head thinking like, shit, man, this person's life is a mess because nothing is in order. And like Jordan Peterson says, you clean your bedroom first, sort yourself out before you start sorting other people out, in a way. I'm not equivocating it to that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, that's a fear for a lot of men, I think. He learned she was a bad cook and a worse housekeeper. Fights ensued. Their relationship became plagued with endless arguments. Undeniable beauty had blinded him to her flaws. Yeah, that's the thing. Men, don't get trapped by the looks. Looks are all good and well, but looks fade. You got to look at what's going to remain thereafter. Okay, that's a very important thing. And yeah, Botox and plastic surgery and makeup and all this other, whatever. Putting someone on a pedestal doesn't just mean exaggerating their good looks, also involves attributing characteristics that they don't even have and being blind to their weaknesses. Yeah, so it's like, they're the best thing ever. Yeah, but they're an alcoholic. That doesn't matter, they're the best thing ever. That's not a good thing, man. That's not a good thing at all. Not a good thing. It reminds you too much of Mr. Hyde. Yeah, when they flip out. The example they use here is like, screaming while driving out in traffic, behaviors like anger issues and things like that. Probably say yeah. Disrespectful. How does the partner treat you? Does he put you down? Does he it's all he. So this is like, obviously from a lady's point of view, red flags for ladies to look out for in men. Maybe he dismisses you and says it's stupid or insignificant, puts you down for your work. He's too clingy. Clinginess, this is probably better for the first one rather than the earlier one here. This is the massive clinginess in all this. This is what trips me out. Like I said, like, you're constantly messaging them nonstop, taking up their time, like looking for that next reply back. Like, just chill the F out, man. Chill the F out. Is someone you're dating is too clingy? That's another red flag. What is too clingy? Someone constantly wants to be by your side is too clingy. Sounds like my first girlfriend who lasted all of 3 months. That's why she got the flick. Life starts and ends with you outside of their relationship. They have nothing. It's like they're glued to the hip. If you want some alone time, they'll accuse you of not loving them. Abba and Preach did a video the other week. I want to find it. They did a video the other week, and I think it was something that they mentioned from Patrice O'Neill, and it was a thing that he said. I think it was like, men want to be alone, but they don't want to be by. No, men don't want to be by themselves, but they want to be alone, or something like that. Let me find it, because I know it was a very good, video from them. No, this one here. In the last video. Oh, shout out to Abba and Preach, by the way. I ended up getting on Abba's live stream last night. That was pretty cool. That was pretty interesting. Enjoyed that. Yeah, it says, men want to be alone, but don't want to be by ourselves. Let's check it out here. Just copy, link over. Bang, bang, bang. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's pretty much like what it is. Men want to be alone, but we don't want to be by ourselves. We like the company that a woman gives us. We know we want to be with a female, but like being constantly around us, that's what's really gonna get us annoyed. Screech, back from Saved by the Bell. Is this a pin of shame? I have never listened to Watch by any Patrice O'Neill, but you guys recommended it, and I am eternally grateful. Okay, this is good, because man is a genius. Yeah, Patrice O'Neill used to say this. He used to say this. Like, what did he say? He used the analogy of like the dog. Like we want a woman to be like a dog. It doesn't mean like an animal, but like how a dog complements, its owner. And that's not to say that men own women or anything like that. It's just the comparison. So it's like we come inside. It's like we're chilling. We want our woman to chill with us. You know, if we're sad, we want our woman to come and sit and be like, it's okay. You know, you'll be sweet. You know, if we're vibing, I just want them to come and vibe with us, just chill with us, just kick back and relax. That's all we want. That's all we want out of life, man. It's not hard, but sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do. What's this one comment here? My current partner is the only person who doesn't exhaust me by just being there. We talk a lot, but we also not talk. We live together. We spend time together inside and outside our apartment, but we have our alone time. When I take a bath, he knows it's alone time and he lets me be, and I love my alone time. Sometimes I wake up early and let him sleep so I can be by myself for a while. Being alone is amazing, and people don't like it, need to work on themselves. This is bang on right there, man. Like, you got to have your time. You have to have your own time doing whatever it is that you do. Can't be sitting there just always clinging on someone else. That annoys me massively. And sometimes women would be like that. A lot of the times it's men that are like that because they've never experienced an abundance of women, or that mentality, that mindset to be like, well, okay, one goes, another one will come along. I'll continue working and I might meet someone at a bar or whatever. Or if they're antisocial, dating apps, online, or whatever the hell people use these days to try and meet. I'm convinced sometimes if you don't have any drugs on your possession, that some ladies want nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. Let's get back to this. Where was it here? Mr. Hyde, blah, blah, blah. Too clingy, master manipulator. Yeah, the manipulation side of things, that's there as well. Seesaw attitude, goes up and down, keeps secrets and is vague. All these gaslights you. Narcissists are really good at this. Such a term for psychological people. Psychiatrists needs to look into that, really. Contrasting core values. Yeah, isolates you from family and friends. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I don't particularly like that. Everyone needs to have friends. Everyone needs to have their own time away. Depends who you're with. That's probably what I would say, who you're spending time with. What was in here? Red flags over 30 years. I was trying to find something in comparison. Nothing really to do there, but back to this whole thing. Red flags. Single man, no kids over 30, living life of nirvana. This type of man is awakened. So this cougar just pry her way into existing relationships. Damn, I hope her friends catch on quickly. 33 and single, no kids. I'm the shit. Nitty Stark. Statistics would like a word with her. Yeah. The stats say very, very different. Men over 30 are seen as better prospects for women in marriage as opposed to women over 30, because a woman over 30 would be a little bit more worrisome to try and say you're going to get in a relationship with her. And this is what we learn from stats, the RP, that sort of mindset. And you know what I mean? There is something to say in the ladies who are looking for men in their 30s. Like, why not look for them in your 20s? So, of course, working, college, social media, having fun, living your life, going on your cruises and parties and Kentucky tours or whatever the hell, your foam cannon parties and all that other bits and pieces. It basically, I don't know, over 30, like, there is a question mark in that. Like, a single man over 30 is a big red flag. If we're talking about this, again, maybe. You got to realize why. Socially awkward, unable to communicate, lives by himself, antisocial. These are things you need to look out for. But obviously, the men that these ladies will be looking for are not the ones that are these types of men. They're going to be the ones who are in the nightclubs, flashing themselves on Instagram. Have the attitude about them, that I don't care attitude, which is what women like, a little bit of arrogance. Let's be real, man. Ladies love the arrogance in men, but it's not like aggressive arrogance. It's just like, I'm better than you, like, whatever. It's just that blasé attitude. And it's like, why is this guy not, like, drawn into me? I need to try harder. She could become the clingy type. Don't know. Definitely don't know about that. The clinginess of types. Read some comments from her original post as well. I like to use capitals to emphasize my stupidity. Don't know about that, man. Okay, so here's a picture of her. This is the biggest red flag. What she got here? Tattoos. What is that? You see Kansas City. I recognize that. Kansas City. I don't know if that's a red flag or not. Like, whatever. Do what you got to do. A red flag would be multiple baby mamas and kids. A man not wanting to have kids and date long term is not a red flag. True. I'm concerned with how your mind resorts to that. Sounds like you have unresolved trauma. Maybe a single man with no kids did you wrong. I don't know, but that shit makes no sense. Even one baby mama is kind of yellow flag. Proceed with caution. Yeah, ladies with the single mums, question mark. I'm single with no kids and I'm over 50. Red flag. I can do what I want when I want with who I want. How it work out for you? I'm 23 at the moment. I don't want kids. I don't want a wife. How's that life for you? And what advice would you give me on life in general? So a 50-year-old to a 23-year-old. It's great when I was married 8 years ago. Okay, so he was married. 22 till 30. We're both still good friends. Okay. Never had the desire to have children, but kids love me. 57 now, and whilst I wish some things were different, I am completely happy. Okay, fair enough. What's even more of a red flag? Single mums over 30. Yeah, baby mamas are a thing, man. Them baby mamas really be out there doing all sorts of things. But, like, who has the audacity to say men over 30 are red flags? I don't get it. Like, why? Why? If I see a woman over 30 and she's single, I'm questioning, why is she single? Has she slept around a lot? Does she have something we need to know about? Does she have psychological issues maybe? I'm not saying it in a negative way. It's very much a real thing. And again, I'll go back to the whole thing. Men that are single in their 30s or 40s, like, why are they single? Are they just, socially awkward? Are they desperados? Do they get their, not to say they're virgins, but do they go to brothels or prostitutes to get their freak on? Which I understand why men do it now and why ladies do it too. Like, there are reasons for both sides. And if it's a guy who's over 30 and he's had 2 or 3 baby mamas himself, and he's got two or three kids from each of those ones, that's a question mark. You want to avoid that man. You definitely want to avoid that bloke. You don't want to be with that person, man. That guy is not going to give you anything that you need. Definitely not going to give you anything that you need. Want to avoid that man altogether. Same thing if it's a woman with 1 or 2 kids. Single, not divorced, like proper single. Divorce, possibly, maybe. Again, long-term stuff, You can decide if you want to do that long-term stuff for yourself. I'd probably avoid it. You want to find someone who's had low body counts from a male's perspective, any case. But again, dating in your 30s is different to dating in your 20s. Like in your 20s, you're still learning who you are. Like you're trying to discover what you want to do in life. I mean, if you don't know what you want to do in life by the time you're 21, 22, I'd be questioning how you're going to get anywhere. But that's when you're learning, studying, starting to work, going out, socializing with your friends, doing all your world tours and all that sort of stuff. And then after 25, 26, that's when you should realistically start thinking, okay, what am I going to do here? And I say this now in hindsight because if I had if I chose different things maybe 5 years ago, I'd be in a different place right now. But I chose to be in a relationship with someone who probably wasn't who I really needed to be with at the time. Had a great year and a half, but ultimately the culture aspect between two cultures of mine and hers didn't work out. And you know what? If I saw the big question mark from the beginning, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. But that's not to say I'm unhappy. I'm happy where I am, doing what I'm doing. 33 years old, kicking ass, scoring goals, doing all sorts of bits and pieces, and I am very happy and content. Like if this was me in my late 20s, exactly what I'm doing right now, but in my late 20s, I'd probably be, well on track to be someone even better than what I am right now. But I can't complain where I'm at. I could be in a very, very much worse position right now. Very much worse position. But yeah, man, pretty much it. Like this whole red flag, it wasn't a whole red flag list, but it was just like, what do we really look out for between the two of us? Like speaking as a man who's in his 30s, what I look out for ladies. Long-term stuff, I'm not going to want someone who's had multiple people. There's a question mark into body count as well and all that, but body count does work, and there's a reason for it. The more partners you've had, the more it makes us question, are you viable to actually carry this child as my own? Because we definitely know it's going to be their child, her child, but is it going to be our child? That's the question mark. That's the question mark. And the guys, if they're constantly working out, they're going out non-stop, working out like late, going out non-stop, not saying where they are, who they're with, and all these other bits and pieces, that could be seen as a flag as well from the woman's aspect. And I'd probably stand by that. But it's ask yourself this: would you rather be 30 with no kids and single, or over 30 with kids and single? Tough question. A tough question. I don't know if I really would want to be, man. No cap. It really is, though, because if you're real to a chick and you're genuinely a good person, she will stick with you no matter what. Loyalty is something that runs deep, and me and my girl soul ties. She in Washington, so she don't expect me not to F, but they don't get it the same way she do. I need to catch up on my lingo, man. That tripped me out massively. Sound like somebody that's single with kids. Probably. I met my husband when he was 31, no kids, never been married, no serious relationships even. There were challenges because of this. Of course, it was hard to adjust from being independent for 31 years, then married at 32, but going through hard times made us stronger, and no kids means he's 100% undivided attention whenever he wants. Don't know. Jay Doy, not sure if this was mentioned. Another red flag, people that can't keep friends longer than a year or two, and all the failed relationships are always the fault of the other person. Yeah, what's the common denominator in all that? Like, if you've been friends with, like, let's just say, if you end up being friends with two people, but those two people have been friends much longer, and then you drop being friends with them, but they're still friends with each other, what does that say about you? You probably couldn't remain friends with them. It's a good point, Jay Doy. Very good point there. How long you handle relationships, how long you are with people, that's another good thing as well. How you interact with others, how you come across as a person as well. But look, man, if our lines are crossed, we can be pissed off, we can be angry, we can do all that stuff as well. Not lash out with violence, but we can definitely be angry. But it's another thing as well. Speaking of the anger aspect, I did a video about this a month ago now, maybe. It was a high school somewhere, maybe in Germany. A girl is staunching over a guy, and she feigns to hit him, and then he ducks, and then she actually hits him. He gets up and he gives her one in return, and then he walks away, and then she's running up to him to get back at him, and he just like tackles her down, gets his bag, and walks away again. That's what he looked like. And then there was the other video that I linked to that, like, don't go looking for violence if you're not going to back up what's coming to you. Should the guy have lashed out? I don't know. But if someone's smacking you, I'm all for smacking them back, male or female. And there's a reason why men don't punch on with other men, because they know if I have to engage with this guy, there's a real chance I could be pummeled, especially if they have no hope in actually taking them on. There's a reason why men don't resort to violence, and those that do resort to violence think, okay, in order to actually get through this, I have to go smack him upside the head. Like, why would you bother doing that? I don't understand why someone would bother going to that extreme. It's like a meathead response to something that really doesn't need to be. But for the ladies, especially with that not baseball, was it baseball or the NFL match brawl where that lady was in that guy's face and he was just standing there like not doing anything, and then she arced up and like she pushed him or slapped him or whatever, and then he pushed her back, and then the guy went in to defend our lady, and then he ended up getting clocked, passed out over the chairs, and then he hit her back as well. Like, some people say like, oh, you should never hit a woman, but don't provoke a man. Don't provoke someone to do something like that, especially if you put your hands on them, expect to have hands put back on you. But it takes men an ultimate amount of restraint to keep that anger emotion deep down, to not lash out at ladies who are in their face, yelling, red, foaming at the mouth, just talking absolute shit to them. Men do hold their emotions down pat well. We don't show our emotions of lovey-dovey, I love you, I care for you, blah, 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 that often, because we don't need to do that. We do that by showing you how we look after you. We show that by how we look after you. That's how we show our care. We want to laugh with you, we want to be happy with you, blah, blah, blah. But for us to remind you that we care for you, flowers and all that sort of stuff, that's just hallmark romantic nonsense, in my opinion. Like, we show you we care for you by looking after you and caring for you, physically, mentally, whatever. You know what I mean? We want you to show us you care for us by looking after us, keeping our stomachs full, keeping our balls empty, as people like to say, being pleasant around us, not giving us headaches, and in return we don't give you headaches. It's all good, man. That's what we want. Cedric Nicholson, shout out. Women don't understand that when they come with masculine energy, that men can be triggered and match that energy. Then all of a sudden, the woman is shocked because they don't expect it. Yeah, they just expect to just be out there just talking absolute nonsense and then just expecting the man not to do anything. No. You arc up, you are going to be retaliated against. Jay Doy, the NFL thing was nuts, no accountability in her actions. Yeah, it happened a few times as well. Wasn't the other lady? She threw something. It was another game. She threw something into the crowd, and then someone got up, and then they started punching on with one another, like starting shit for no reason. Like, why would you bother doing that sort of stuff? Why would you want to be a pain in the ass that way? Why would you be a pain in the ass that way? Recreant. In my opinion, a woman over 30 with no kids is literally a waste of life. Oh, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh, man. Esther Maburu, why? Hey, we call this one Kaiocho. That's a people thing, isn't it? Yeah. Because a woman's prime time to give birth during the age of 18 to 35. Yeah, 30 to 35 will own. I said this earlier. Have slightly higher chances of defects with pregnancy and giving birth, but most of these women run around so desperate to the point that they will settle for just sake of settling down and have last-minute nuclear family life. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. That's definitely true. That's a big one. Man's got a point there. This is what I was saying before. Like, this is why we say ladies. Like, you really need to, like, ladies over 30, 35 who are single and looking for kids, good luck. Honestly, I mean it sincerely. Good luck. Because trying to find someone decent that will have kids with a 35-plus-year-old who isn't already 40 or same age with someone their age or younger or thereabouts, good luck. I know ladies in their 40s and 50s who are single and they've accepted that they're going to be single either based on religious grounds or that or that they never really latched on to find someone to spend their lives with, or maybe they were just not good for relationships. Maybe they were the party type. Maybe they were the type to always go out. Maybe the guys they were into were all the wrong types of guys, Alpha Chad instead of going for Beta Brad. But we know women don't like that beta type of male. They want the guy who's adventurous, who's out there, who's fun, and who, is the life of the party. That's what happens. That's why we say, like, ladies over 30 have more red flags than men over 30, especially if they're single. If they got a kid over 30, okay, you can say maybe they divorced or had an interesting interaction with the man, never saw him again. And look, there are things to be said with that whole aspect there, and that's probably another conversation. Probably another conversation for another day. Jay Doy, we were lied to and told that family wasn't important. Then we were younger, and then we had plenty of time. Then blink and you're 30 and time's almost up. Yeah, Kevin Samuel says it, man. In the danger zone, and then after 35, 36, you're in no man's land because no man wants you. That's what he says. And it is harsh to say, and I know ladies who will watch this now or later on, and even the females that I know in my social circles, they'll look at me and they'll say, like, okay, you know what? In a way, you're correct, but at the same time, I don't like what you said. Hey, I'm short. I'm under 6 foot. Okay, I'm not built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't have a BMW. I don't live in a 3-story mansion or a luxury apartment or anything like that. I don't have bling around my wrists or anything. I don't aspire to be one of those people. But those are the cards I'm dealt with. Is it a harsh truth? Do I like hearing it? No, but I've accepted it because I know what I need to do. In order for me to continue my path as a male, especially in this day and age, 2021, where the most absurd shit can happen to you from the most nothing of instances. Cedric Nicholson again, 30 plus women are easy to smash. They get desperate and think they can hook up with you with the kitten elbow. Yeah, I know a bit about that. Look, there ain't no shade there. Like, you do what you got to do, man. This is where I need my mate. I need to have my friend on and have this conversation about hitting up ladies over 30, 35, because it sometimes is that way. They're not going to get the men that they want, especially at that age, but they can still get men for a one-nighter to fool around with and do all these sorts of things. And you know what? If they've accepted it, they've accepted it, man. That's the reality of the situation. That's what it is. That's where we're at. That is where we're at, and there's nothing else we can say about it because that's the cards they chose to play, and that's where they're left at now. So Antonio Montana, great name. Yeah, Scarface in the back there. Look at the people who say it, though. Yeah, the trash just took itself out. America, where women can justify anything toxic because they can't handle reality. Reckless gaming, guess I'm a giant red flag. Oh, a single woman over 30 with no friends is a red flag. That's a good point there. Well, who said it up here before? What was the friends thing? Where was it here? Damn, where is it here? Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Can't keep friends longer than a year or two. Yeah, that's a good point. Seems like single women with no friends would be the real red flag, because once she's in a relationship and it's with a good dude, them sorry ass jealous friends gone run sabotage trying to break up and steal her man. Could it steal her man, or is that the crabs in a bucket theory? If they got friends and it's like, oh, I've got myself a man. No, come party with us. Come hang out with us. Don't go out clubbing. Don't go out with him. Yeah, come with us. We're going to go have some drinks. We're going to go cocktail bar and all these sorts of places. It's like a lot of the times that's sort of what it is, man. It is that crabs in a bucket theory. Not in the best way, but look, man, reality often isn't the easiest thing to hear, isn't the easiest thing to accept, but that is the reality. And bad friends are also a red flag. You're the company you keep. Everything lies with you. Everything stops with you yourself. Everything stops with you. If friends keep disappearing from you, you're gonna ask, okay, what is it? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's not you specifically, but it's the people you're choosing. Why are you choosing certain people? Like, what are you trying to get out of the friends that you're with? Those are the sort of questions I'd be asking here. Cap. Green flag. Okay. Ashley, I think we'll leave it here. Would really depend on her age. Someone that's 18 or 19 feeling like a single 30-year-old or hitting on her is a red flag, or that by 30 you should have your shit together maybe, And if you have a kid and are over 30, then someone without kids could be a personal no, but I don't know about a red flag. Someone that's 18 or 19 feeling like a single 30-year-old. If you're 18 or 19, why the hell, how would you know what a single 30-year-old would feel like? Oh, a single 30-year-old hitting on her. Sorry, my bad. 18 or 19 single is arranged by 3 shave your shit together. Yeah. Okay, I see what she means there. She's talking about a guy, 30 years old, hitting on an 18 or 19-year-old. Yeah, so, like, yeah, it's a good point there. It's not a bad point. It's not a bad point. Yeah, I had the same confusion as well, man. Yeah, someone that's 18 or 19, a woman, feeling like a single 30-year-old hitting on her is a red flag, or that by 30, you should have your shit together maybe. And if you have a kid and are over 30, then someone without kids could be I don't think you've completed the sentence. Could be a personal no. So someone with 30 without kids could be a personal no, but not better. Yeah. So sometimes, why would you want someone over 30 with a kid though? That's what I don't understand. You'd want to have kids with that person over 30. That's how I would perceive it. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something there, but I think we'll wrap it up. Gone over the hour mark, fitting within my time frame nicely. I'm already getting some hate mail from people that I know specifically. Don't want to punch on, don't want to fight me. Don't want to. Good luck. Little midgets trying to fight. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you to those who watch. Thank you for those who watch in the future. Interesting conversation. Always enjoy the community tab when people get involved and start dropping comments and things. Like, gets a gauge of like where people are at, because, you know, if you have differing opinions, that's all good. It's all good. A lot of people can't stand DaySpark. Can't stand the truth, reality. Everyone wants sunshine and rainbows at the end of the day, but men, we see reality. We don't think, it's going to happen for me. But no, if we don't make it happen, it doesn't happen. It's not going to magically come across. We need to make things happen for us. That's how I live my life. If I want to do something, I have to go ahead and work towards it. It's not going to get dropped on me. If you want a dose of reality, listen to the last few Kevin Samuel streams where he's actually asked women, okay, you're single, over 30, whatever. Do you want to be married? Yeah, I do. Okay, who's going to marry you? Oh, there are some men out there. Yeah, who's proposing? Who's serious? Oh, I don't have anyone at the moment. Okay, so you're going to retire? What are you going to retire on? A single person's a paycheck? That's not going to be enough. Yeah, do you want to be homeless at the age of 50 or 60? They say no. But you have to expect that reality. Well, they're never going to expect it because it's always been the government there to help them out. There's a reason why we have, what is it? They say 1 out of 4 women are homeless. It's just a nice way of saying 3 out of 4 homeless are men. Because if we have 1 homeless woman, it's a problem. But if we have 3 homeless men out of 4, then it's just normal. It's not a normal thing. No one should be homeless. No one should be homeless. Yeah. Themselves, how they can't stand others. It could be that too. Can't stand others, yeah. Yeah, no one wants to be homeless. But the reality is that a lot of the times the government will come in and save me. Yeah, I'll be under welfare, Centrelink for us in Australia, or I don't know what is Social Security or whatever it is in America. I'm not too sure. My bad. Ignorant Aussie here. Am I going to upload my convo with ABBA? I don't know. I don't know if I should, man. It wasn't really that long of a convo. I sort of like got sidetracked in a way. I was trying to bring the point of, that lady complaining about Bumble and why like men can't message first. It's like the whole reason you have Bumble is so you can message the men first, so you can choose the men that you want to swipe with. Like you can swipe right. Oh, this guy swipe right. Oh, this guy likes me. Okay, I'll message him first, or nah, not my thing, disappear. Like, the power is yours. Captain Planet, the power is yours. Still not happy. I was like, they just expect everything. Everything. We give birth, so men should make the first move. And? I pay for dinner. You should get on your knees. It's not the same. A lot of men would like it to be the same, but it's not the same. Some do, some don't. No, I didn't miss it. I don't know if I'd upload it. It wasn't that long of a con. It was pretty cool, though. It's pretty cool to get on with ABBA. It's pretty interesting. Might do that again next time it goes live. I'll suss it out. I'll give it a go. But I'll wrap it up there. I need to have some lunch and then get ready for my training session and potentially a fight, a punch on, not literal, a verbal argument. I can't wait for this one with this particular person. I can't wait, even though this has been discussed many a time between us both. I can't wait for it. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. All the best, and I'll try bring some videos. And again, like my videos, I just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether people like it, whether people don't like it, and that's all good and well. You can like, you can dislike, you can comment, you can drop all these things. That's what it's all good for, man. And that's all it's all good for. It's all good for. There she is. She's ready. She's ready. There she is. See? Oh, this is going to be fun. I'll give you a community page update on this fight this afternoon. Anyways, thank you for tuning. Peace out, everyone. Have a good evening, good weekend, long weekend in Australia. Have a safe one, and see you next time.